Hello everybody, this is my story on how I developed schizophrenia and what my symptoms are and stuff like that. And it's a good story, so listen up, open your ears, and pay attention. Focus, if you can. I can't focus on most things, especially when people are talking, unless it's really interesting. But this story is really interesting, so here it goes. If you read my or saw my NDE video, it kind of goes in turn with that. I got a message. What's up? You ain't up to anything? Call me. I don't know, man. That's weird. Anyways, I'll probably still call him because I like to talk on the phone a lot. Okay, here it goes. The first time I heard a voice was right before I had a near-death experience or died and came back to life. And the voice said, I had fallen in love with this guy or whatever, and the voice told me to tell him, I love you, out loud. And I said, I love you. And after that, the lights went out, and then I died and came back to life. But I saw all this crazy shit, which is in my NDE experience, my NDE video, which just says NDE, and I'm wearing this weird hat and stuff. And after that, the voices were all day and all night. I never got any sleep. And the things that they were saying was like, it was all circular around the word it. They'd be like, it. What does it mean? What is it? What is it? And I never knew what they were talking about, but every time I heard the word it scared me. And when I listened to people talk, it sounded like code. Almost like a code, like the way that, like, someone in the afterlife would talk. Like I was in my afterlife or something. And I still kind of believe this is my afterlife and not my actual living life because I already died, you know? And when I came back to life, I was, like, in a different place. Like, in a different, on a different side of the room. Like, I had just jumped there or something. Like, not jumped physically, but jumped, like real fast. And people there said that that's what happened, too, that I had jumped like that. Or that they just weren't paying attention to how I got there or something. Yeah. And then the ghost would be all night long, and I couldn't change my clothes without feeling like somebody was talking to me, and they would talk to me and be like, you're fat, and stuff like that. And they tried to convince me that I was, like, dead, and this was my afterlife, and they would try to convince me that they were ghosts and spirits. They told me they were spirits and stuff, and they told me all this stuff about the afterlife, and I, like, literally couldn't function because I was, like, I would be, like, listen to somebody, but it sounded like code. Like, the words that really got to me were, like, the word home, the word house, the word car, the word couch, because I like died on a couch. And, let's see, those are, like, my trigger words. I had a lot more, too, like, hotel and, dark and let's see what else. I don't know, there was a lot of them. Basically every word had a different meaning to me. It felt like the English language was like a metaphor for another language. Like I thought the English language was a different language, and every word in English meant something different to me. Walk, they'd be like, I walk home, and that would be like me, and so that would mean to me like, walking would mean like a journey, like a long journey that ended when you died, and like the walk home and home would be like heaven, you know, like home meant like heaven to me, you know, and it's really hard to explain. And let's see what else. Oh, and I could feel like if I thought about it, I could feel hands on me. They would touch me and stuff, and I had all these delusions that like people could hear my thoughts, and that I could hear people's thoughts if I listened in. And for a long time, I thought I had been in a relationship with Connor Oberst, like a long time relationship with Connor Oberst. And it was like 8 years long and stuff. And I thought we were going to get married and he was going to come find me and get me and all that kind of stuff. I always thought people were going to come get me and rescue me from something because I had contacted them via mentally and stuff. And I have really, sometimes whenever I'm really stressed out, I have to look up, like my mind doesn't work right, and I'll look up and I can't look down. I'll just keep looking up to like where my eyes are strained. So I couldn't like see anything because I was looking up. And if I'd try to pay attention to something, I would just be like staring at everything at the same time and stuff. Oh, and whenever I was really sick, I became like mentally, like my mental capacity was like blown out. Like I could move a cup with my mind and my hand, like my energy. I could like make my energy come out of my hand and move a cup like back and forth. And the first time I was in Wellstone, I did that like all the time. I'd move the cup all the time. And people would be like, wow, that's amazing. And I was just like, yeah, sure it is. But yeah, I could do that. And I could make like, whenever I was in a room, I would like notice how people's hands were moving and stuff. And I made up meanings for what people would be thinking by the way that their hands were. Like if someone did this, I would say that they were being walked home by a ghost or a spirit. Like if they ever did this, that meant that they were being walked by a spirit. And if people were doing this, it meant like something else. I can't remember because my brain is totally different now. But I would make up meanings for when people cross their legs, when people and whenever people, I can't really do it without. Here, let me set this up. Yeah, I'll just take this out. When people would be like, this meant like dead. Like if you did this, you were dead. Or you were gonna die or something soon. And let me think. There was, I don't know, but I couldn't function in reality anymore. I had made up my whole entire world based on what I thought and not what everybody else thought. And I stayed in my room for about 4 years. And for 4 years, or for 2 of the 4 years, I didn't talk at all. I just listened to what everybody had to say and what the ghosts had to say, or the voices in my head. And I did some research on like spirits and stuff, and because I'm a Wiccan, so I believe in that, spirits and stuff. I figured out that there's over 100 billion ghosts, and I made the connection that there's like over 100 billion spirits, over 100 billion neurons in the brain, and over 100 billion stars in the sky. So that was a really cool connection I made. And I figured out like this square footage of the earth, and I realized that if every person that died became a ghost and inhabited earth, there would be a ghost for every 20 square feet, or for every 20 feet like of square footage. Like you walk 20 feet and there would be a ghost, walk 20 feet and there would be another ghost. And I was like, that really freaked me out, because I was like, that means they're fucking everywhere, you know, and they're always watching and stuff. And I was just like, fuck that, you know. And let me see what else I had. I would always think people were plotting against me to like kill me and stuff, and I would seriously get scared as fuck. Like fear all the time. Like, I have, like, the worst fear of, like, people. Like, I thought people were gonna figure me out and, like, find out that I wasn't normal and stuff. And that really got to me. Like, and I would twitch for, like, every word someone would say. Like, someone would be like, I love you, and I'd be like, and people would notice that, and I just hated it. And I would move, like, my hands to it, and I'd be like, or something, like, for whatever people were saying. Like, they would talk to me like, you are the best person I know, and I'd be like, and it was just, like, really fucking weird. And whenever I heard music, like, I had to dance. If I didn't dance, like, I felt really weird. Like, my spirit inside my body, like, was, like, forcing me to move. And I felt things really, really deeply. And I, like, had really intense feelings all the time. And whenever I was really super duper aware, I could see, like, everything in the room, and I knew exactly what was going on all the time. I knew what everybody was thinking. And when people would walk on the floor, I could feel it in my body. And when people would, like, cut things and stuff, I felt like I was being cut, like, hard, and it hurt so bad and stuff. And oh, I could feel the ghosts. Like, the ghosts would, like, come in my room at night and kill me. And they would seriously kill me, like, stab me a bunch of times, and I could feel, like, my blood coming out of my body. But it was like I was in a different place where I couldn't actually die. Like, I could feel the blood all over my body and stuff, but I couldn't see it anywhere. So it was like I was dying in, like, the spirit realm, but not, like, the actual world. But I kept getting stabbed. Like, that was the worst part, was, like, being stabbed over and over again by these ghosts. And ghosts are scary. Like, they can do a lot of fucked up shit to you. And it's like they do it, but it happens in their world and not our world. So it's like you exist in their world and our world, and they can touch you and do whatever you want to them if you're, like, aware of them and stuff. And it was like they were, like, training me, you know, to be, like, a psychic, or, like, to understand them or something, because they would talk to me all the time, and they would talk to me, but when they talked really weird. And they said, like, they would say it, this, and that, and those, like, a whole bunch of times. Like, this is great, or this is us, or it is this, or this is it, or us, it is us, or it is me, or it is you. And they say that all the time. Like, all the time. Like, it, this, that, us, we. And I made up a code, too. Like, it would be like, I, you, me, 1,000 times me. And, then we, or then us, and then we. It was like a code for the English language. Like, I don't know, it was really, really weird. But I, like, lived by that code. And at one point, I thought that everybody was, like, a part of the Holy Trinity. Like, everybody was, like, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, and the Virgin. And I thought that I had to find, like, a soulmate or something. And I had to, like, change the world and, like, make it different.